The success of violent fighting games started in the early 90s with Midway's Mortal Kombat. This game left a thirst among 90s gamers for more gore and violence of equal types. This brought on a barrage of bloody and gore-filled fighting games such as Primal Rage. Primal Rage appealed to many Mortal Kombat fans as it brought on violent gameplay and bloody fatalities with a mixture of prehistoric creatures for all to enjoy. However, Primal Rage didn't see the same success as its counterparts Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter, due to having very clunky controls when playing versus mode. Due to the fact that Primal Rage was unique in its own way, its developer Atari was quick to capitalize on its appeal and started producing a sequel. And so in today's video, I'll be discussing the unreleased Primal Rage 2. Primal Rage appeared in almost every console of its current time. This made the game very accessible to most gamers, and of course with Mortal Kombat's success, it's only logical that gamers at the time were curious to try other similar games. And you also have to remember that there were no internet reviews or forums at the time, so people purchased the game blindly. Now even though the game was oddly unique, it was overall pretty bad. And it seems that Atari mistook the sales as general interest for the new game. This was not the case though. Gamers did not get suckered in by the game's violent appeal. The main issue with Primal Rage was the fact that the controls were absolute crap. During the brief moment of Primal Rage's success, and I use success very loosely, Atari began to quickly draw up new concepts for the sequel. An interesting fact is that Primal Rage also got its own comic book, which gave a quick glimpse at the sequel, Primal Rage 2, which was currently in development. Now, not much is actually known about Primal Rage 2's development history, as the game was very tight-lipped. Very rarely did some developers slip up and briefly mention the title. The rumor was that Atari wanted to try something different with the sequel and add background story to its cast of characters. With this idea in mind, they decided to make some characters human with the morphing ability feature to change humans into the dino gods that were popular in the first game. The story of the game was quite simple. The game would feature avatars of the dino gods as playable characters. Necrosin trapped the gods so that they couldn't fight him, so the avatars had to save the gods by fighting each other to reach Necrosin. If the players were to beat Necrosin, then they would get an ending along with another unlockable character. The game originally had 8 characters to play as, but as you unlock all the playable characters, it tops off at about 17 total, including Necrosin, which is playable in the build of the game. The biggest draw for the franchise was its claymation visuals that were impressive for its time. This was to return in the sequel. Again, all of this was only a cluster of rumors from people on the inside that saw the game during development. Now, an arcade cabinet was eventually created as a test to see if the game gained enough interest. The cabinet was placed at Golfland Arcade in California. This test site played a large role in the game's demise. After Atari saw that the game didn't gain much interest or popularity, Atari promptly canceled the entire idea and scrapped the game altogether. After that, no one ever saw Primal Rage 2 ever again. That is until 2013, when a YouTuber by the name of RayDude uploaded footage of the Primal Rage 2 prototype. Now, the story behind this user is that he discovered a copy of the Primal Rage 2 game data that had been left in storage for the past 14 years. This is a very big find given the fact that this game's prototype cabinet simply vanished from existence and had been seen in the past. And now for a bit of the bad news. Now, unfortunately, from watching the video of the game's performances, it doesn't look like it improved much and looks quite awful, to be honest. The game is still very clunky, the combo system is awkward and almost non-existent, and the hitboxes are very weird at times, but I guess I can't complain too much because again, the game was still being tested. But I suppose the animation was decent for its time. The game also featured a weird suicidal fatality system, which is actually pretty cool. Everything from clubbing themselves with a spiked bat to a velociraptor choking himself to death with his own tail, just to name a few. I honestly don't know what the point of this whole system would have been, but it's definitely different. Now what's even more exciting about this rare gem is that if anyone is curious and wants to play the game itself, they actually can. The Primal Rage 2 cabinet is currently located at the Galloping Ghost Arcade in Brookfield, Illinois, which is considered to be one of the largest arcade stores in the US with over 530 cabinets. Now it is said that Primal Rage 2 isn't the only rare unreleased game that they have in their shop, but I'll save that for another video. Thank you guys for watching. Check out some of my other videos if you like, and I'll see you all next time.